Hello everyone, Dan 14th Prime here. Today I want to check out with you guys the Transformers Studio Series Brawl. Voyager class figure, picked him up off Amazon. You can too, link in the description below. Check out my Amazon page, bookmark that. As of the time of this video, he's a new figure, he's hot along with Megatron, so they're in and out of stock, but if you check back often, they do come back in stock and you can get them at regular price. My advice would be to be patient and not buy from the higher retail price secondary sellers. As we've seen before, Studio Series comes with these nice little display backdrops. If you're into them, they're pretty cool, well printed. Always some cool pics there. This is like the city street scene where Brawl was fighting. So lots of explosions, jets flying through the air. It looks pretty cool. Then here we have Brawl. Let's give him a bit of a spin around. I will say he looks really good. Again, Voyager class figure. Bit of a smaller Voyager, as we've seen them really play with scale quite a bit in this line, which is cool, but the movie accuracy of this guy is really impressive. The molding is fantastic. So I really like what we've done, and we'll take a closer look, but let me just give you the spin around. He's got some tank parts here, some tank treads here. The head sculpt is really good. We'll take a closer look. All the molding through the front of the leg looks really good. The one goofy thing for me is kind of the arms and shoulders, how these sort of work. It just sort of looks odd, but I think best they can do it, and it does work. It's got some accessories here. A blade, a gun on the other side, which we'll take a look at. Really cool how they were able to put the cannons over the shoulders. Really like that. Does have some gun kibble going down there between the legs. Maybe they could have put a fold-up option on that, but it fills out okay from the back as well. Some hollowness here and there, but that's not bad at all. And the backpack is not bad either. So a very good bot mode, which I think becomes a very good tank mode, as we'll see. So that's a bit of the overview of the figure. Let's check out some details. So if we jump in a bit closer here on Brawl, start with the head sculpt. I mean, really good. Great detail through the face. Silver paint. He does have those beady red eyes filled in there as well. Probably difficult to see, but that is there. And, he's got just, bump the camera there, he's got just like a nice full head all the way around. So really all the way around a nice headpiece and face sculpt. But just check out the details. Again, I like how they, through the transformation, you can put the cannons up here. Looks great. The tank treads as well. Really good looking. All that good detail through the chest. Some paint accents there in silver. Again, there you can see those shoulder joints. I don't love them, but that's how it's got to work. Some accents here maybe would be nice if they were a bit more flush to the figure, but it's not terrible. But a lot of good molding down the front of the figure. And then down into the legs, really like how those look as well. Some silver paint on the knees and the feet. Very stable figure as well. See up here on the hands, he's kind of got silver forms and everything just molded in there, but painted very well. Then here we've got the profile, and again, I think it looks good. It's clean, not too backpacky or kibbly or anything. Get the gun up there. You see the head well, the side of the tank tread, you even got the wheels in there. Here's this piece, protruding a bit, like I said, but not too bad. Got some long arms. Get those out of the way in a second there. Let's just move that out of the way. Just put his arm up. He does have an accessory there that I've got on, which we'll take a closer look at, but now you can kind of see through the side there. I mean, it looks pretty good. And then down the side of the leg, he's got, a little bit of panel kibble that goes on the back of the legs, but not too bad at all. We come back here quickly and just kind of do the side of the arm. This pegs in really deep. That's kind of what you get with the accessory off. Take a look at that from the front as well, so a bit cleaner. And then this is the piece here on that arm, that I put on that arm at least. It's kind of claw hook mechanism. It's got some articulation to it. Kind of like a little Gatling gun type thing. Get focused on the right thing there. Sitting on top. So no paint or anything here. Again, a lot of nice molding, and some paint would have done a lot of good to it, but still works pretty well. So back of the figure here, a bit closer in, you got some tank turrets coming up over the top. The back of these rocket launcher things. The overall tank turret sits back there. With the long extension between the legs, which is not perfect, but not terrible. And then again, back of the legs here. It's not bad. This is kind of a panel that needs to come around to make the side of the tank. But not too bad. So I think pretty clean overall back there. Then here on the right side of the figure, you know, it's the same as the other, but I just want to show you the other accessory here. Again, we pop that off. Again, that's kind of the look. No accessories on. It is a big, you know, gun with rockets on it, I suppose, or 4 guns, I'm not sure. It looks like just kind of a gun. Does have some nice silver paint on it. So pretty cool, just weapon that plugs onto the side of the arm. And let me just roll some footage here of the movie. I'll grab Brawl here, or as they subtitled Devastator in the movie, always confused me. But we'll roll some clip. And again, you can just see for yourself the great likeness. I think they did such a good job. All these details, you know, the guns over the top, the turrets, the tank treads, all this stuff, the gun on the side of the arm. It all shows up in the movie. I think they did a really good job replicating that. So very good with the movie accuracy. Quickly, articulation-wise for Brawl, I think overall it's pretty good. He's got a head that goes side to side and probably gives you just the slightest bit of kind of play, action, and angle for different sort of head up and down, just a slight bit, which is cool. Shoulders will spin around there. They'll go up there. It's got quite a bit that goes on here just for transformation and stuff. So you get a joint there, then you get a joint here as well for elbow. So quite a bit there. Hands are just fixed, buried in there. Nothing at the waist. Thighs going to come out like that. Really come forward and back all the way. No issues there. Get kind of a thigh swivel right there towards the knee. And, you know, the knee bends pretty well. Get about 90 degrees there, so that's good. And, of course, nothing really down here, but this did transform, as we know. So, you know, if you had to sort of cheat for some forward foot, you know, if you want them kind of lunging like that, you could do that. So overall, pretty typical articulation. So as I've mentioned and we've talked about before, scale's really a cool, fun part of the line, you know, doing things that they really haven't done before or in recent history in terms of trying to really flex scale across the Leader, Voyager, and Deluxe class setting. So we got Grimlock there, big Leader, you got Starscream here. Voyager class, taller Voyager class for this line. We have Blackout here, who was Leader, but kind of shorter, certainly smaller than Grimlock. Stinger here, just to give you a sense for Deluxe scale. Prime at Voyager. You can see these guys all sort of fit pretty well, I thought. And then Megatron here, where if you saw my video of him, I thought he kind of, you know, throws the scale in a bit of a loop, because I think he's a bit too big. So everything else, save Megatron, I think works really well for me. But either way, scale's never going to be perfect, but I do really think it's cool how they're flexing the scale. Okay, so let's get down into transforming Brawl into his tank mode. Of course, let's just kind of pop off the accessories on the side of the arms here to get started. Then let's go ahead and take the chest and just kind of pull that forward. Take the tank treads and, you know, they're at an angle, so just push them back out to the side. His head will just fold back. Scrunch that back nice and flat behind the chest plate. There's some plates here on the side that you want to fold up as well. So you'll get that. We come around back here. We need to get this whole piece to rotate. You can make the top of the turret, just push these back into place. The little missile guns, whatever, just fold up. They're on just little ball joints, basically. Take the arms and detach them from the sides by pulling them back a bit, so they unplug from the side of the shoulders. And if we come back up front into this, it's going to be the front of the tank here, basically, that was hidden behind the chest. Start to pull that out. And if we pull the tank turret up, we want to just rotate this whole back section here. So he's got to create some clearance is really all I've been trying to do to enable this. I'm sure that could be done a little more pretty than what I just did. But we need to get the tank turret spun around, which we've done. So now the tank's going to start to go this way. So here again, let's pull this up because that is going to be the top of the tank, as I said. These kind of, I don't know, rake looking things, they just slide up. They'll kind of slide into some slots up there. So do that. Take the headpiece and it's going to flip up. And there's some pegs here, again, that we just put by his eyes, and there's some holes there. So we'll want to get those connected in, plugged together. These little panels which were on the side, I guess we could have done this a bit earlier. It sort of just creates some coverage when this piece is down, the rake piece. But you can just push that back. So if we come back around back of the figure, you can get this piece rotated around. It's going to be facing that way eventually. In terms of panels, they're all pretty good. Sometimes these guns pop off on me, but otherwise, no bumblebee-itis really with this guy. Overall, pretty solid. I like to do the legs next just to get a bit of a foundation going. So if you just detach that from the back of the foot, just kind of fold those feet up. And then that's going to rotate this way because you want the tank tread to start to come outside. So just rotate it to the outside. And then you can kind of set that panel out like this a bit and flip that forward. So you'll have the whole side of the tank for you there, ready to go. And in the back here, on the bottom of that foot, there's a little peg. You kind of flip to the heel when you go in bot mode, but you need to stick out for alt mode because that's a key connector piece for you right there. Now we've got them like this. Obviously, we need to fill all this, right? And this is the arm piece, which is probably the trickiest piece of the transformation. Just getting these folded up and around. So there's a panel on the back of the arm. You can just bring that around. For up here, you want to just start to rotate that in. So rotate that in and down. So it's kind of backwards or whatever. The hollow side is up right there. The connector for the peg joint is visible right there. It's difficult to see probably, but that's how you know you've got it the right way. Because then this panel is going to easily just fold underneath like that. So same thing on this side. Again, rotate in the arm. Just fold it in. Hollow side up for that shoulder piece. Arm panel is just going to come up and around. And it's going to fill. And in the front here, there are some pegs on the gun turret right there. And some slots on the front of these arm pieces. And they connect. You get that nice and tight. Some pegs also just above it. We have to get our turret out of the way there. So that connects, and then the back connects as well. There you go. Now the little gun turret, it pegs into the big gun turret, or you can kind of leave it floating. If you leave it floating, it will spin because the big gun turret does not. Or there are pegs where you can actually keep it flush. I like to kind of leave it floating personally. So just kind of push that down. And then we had set up our side panels. You just fold those in. And you're going to get yourself a side of a tank. Same thing over here. Get yourself the side of a tank. And just kind of squeeze it down. Get your rake things out there good. Get your missiles how you want them. And this is the thing. You think you're not done here, but it kind of sits like that. Kind of in the back. A little bit elevated. Not really flush. Doesn't peg down all the way in the back. So that is okay. And that's it. That's a transformation. Okay, so here we have Brawl in tank mode. And of course, you can take the accessories and armor them up just by plugging them right into the top if you want. So that looks like that. Doesn't look too busy, but I don't think is movie accurate technically. At least you've got a place to store them. Again, it could be worse, but you really get a lot of stuff going on up top there. But it's an option, but let's kind of take them off because we get more of the movie accurate tank effect here. And apparently these disconnect as well. You can have a little gun there. Maybe we do that. That looks cool. I like that. Okay, and here we have Brawl. And I gotta say, it looks good. I mean, you get several shades of green kind of going on between the camo effect. And the gun barrels are probably a slightly different color as well. The tank treads. I think not having a whole lot painted here is good. Accurate, right? You wouldn't want all that on a tank. Maybe if anything, they'd be kind of black, but think it looks really good. Just have the tank tread together there, and overall just green camo. So I do like it. Again, nothing rotates up here, but because I left this piece floating, at least I did there. There we go. You can spin that a bit, and it doesn't look bad. It's not like it's way up. Again, you can put it super flush, but not too bad if you want to leave it floating and get a more playability. Front end view there, looking right down the barrel of the guns. This side over here, it's going to get us a bit more straight on light there. You can see what that looks like. Back of the figure here. You know, the hands kind of show through there, and again, that's kind of feels like it's just like up in the air a bit. Curious why they didn't give us like a peg back here to really lock that in, but you know, it sort of floats a little bit. Kind of a little bit of an odd angle and gap back there. Really the only thing kind of weird with this alt mode. Otherwise, it's fantastic. Now he's got some tanks, you know, sort of back here. So yeah, man, looks pretty cool. Underside, pretty clean overall. Top side, and these guns here on ball joints. A little mini gun that I just took off the accessory and plugged in there. I like that. So yeah, cool alt mode. Looks really, really good. So there you have it, guys. Transformers Studio Series Brawl. Voyager class figure. I like it a lot. Picked him up off Amazon. You can too. Check the link in the description below. Check out my Amazon page. You know, both Brawl and Megatron I got literally probably the week after so many other reviewers were importing the guy from Robot Kingdom or other overseas places. And I paid regular retail price. So definitely check out Amazon. Follow my Amazon page closely. So lots of other cool Transformers up on my Amazon page. Thanks for checking out the review. Thanks for checking in. Follow me on Instagram as well, where you see other photos of some of the figures I'm reviewing or just cool things in my collection. So check that out. Same handle, Dan14 Prime. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.